Let's keep things rolling here on Cincinnati Bengals Talk. I'm James Rapien. Welcome in, and it's time to welcome in Bengals safety Tycen Anderson, entering his second year with the Cincinnati Bengals. Tycen, I appreciate the time. Thanks for joining me. I know it's off season. You're probably trying to get as much rest along with training as possible before training camp begins.
No, I appreciate you, James. It's always good talking to you, all our conversation in the locker room and talking about all the stuff we talk about. So it's always good to see your face and chopping it up. Can't wait to see how this conversation go today.
Yeah, let's start with the offseason in general because I want to talk about your rookie year, but this is your first full NFL offseason where you don't have to prepare for the draft, worry about 40 times, worry about bench press or all these agility drills, all the stuff that you had to do at the combine and your pro day. What has it been like, and how has it changed, or how have you changed as a player?
I'd probably say the biggest thing that has honestly been obviously your first real off season, not at college where you got a true routine. You got to be at 6 a.m. lift at a certain time. So the biggest thing, honestly, is just finding your routine and your schedule. And me, the things I've been doing is obviously a lot of just getting stronger. 'Cause obviously, we got some in the AFC North. We got a lot of big backs to tackle, and just being as strong and as in shape as I can be. So I've been hitting the weights like crazy, staying in shape, and doing like Pilates and acupuncture massage, because obviously my year one didn't go as planned because of uh, not taking care of my body as much as I could have, or the hamstring injury, things like that. So I'm just staying on top of stuff like that, and that's pretty much my off season been really, and just keep my footwork sharp and my brain sharp. That's pretty much been my off season.
What's your training regimen like? Like, give us an idea of what, because I'm sure plenty of our viewers have been to the gym and they run on the treadmill, or they'll do stairmaster, they'll do some curls or whatever. But what does an NFL safety, what goes into training for football and NFL games?
And obviously, you want to. It's a lot of stuff you got to train for, honestly, because in football it's gonna be a lot of collisions. It's gonna be a lot of. So obviously, you want to have your shoulders as strong as possible. It's a dangerous game, so you got to have your neck as strong as possible. So keeping those two things pretty strong and up to par. But just honestly, lifting pretty much every day, lower body, upper body, kind of 3 times a week upper body, 2 times a week lower body, mixing in cardio and field work in between. And like I said, shout out to Vonn Bell. He got me onto Pilates, and that's been keeping my flexibility and my range of motion super good, and go help with some of the injuries, the soft tissue stuff that I was dealing with last year. So, and then so that's pretty much the day in the life. So I usually get to training about 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. I train up in Mason with a dude named John. I call him John Wick because he a pretty crazy dude. And he like this. He is pretty super crazy dude. So all my friends, we call him John Wick. Um, so that's pretty much it for real. Just hitting the field, keep my footwork and stuff sharp, and just taking care of my body after I train and do my cardio and workouts.
John Wick. I need to see the fourth one still, but I love
Yeah.
that series. Have you seen the fourth one?
I have not seen the fourth one. I have not seen the fourth one, but he is an assassin for sure. And
Gotcha.
that's exactly what my trainer is.
Yeah, that's a hell of a nickname. I'm a fan
No,
of that. If you earn that John Wick nickname, that's
yeah,
pretty good company to be in. You mentioned Von Bell, and it's a
mhm,
perfect segue because last year, and we can get into you personally and how it was, and obviously they draft you and Dax, and I
yeah,
think the writing was on the wall for a lot of us that all right, those are the replacements for the guys that they have in Jesse Bates, in Von Bell. But how valuable? Let's start with the value that comes with having guys like Bates and Bell. And you obviously spent the offseason with Bell. I know he was in the offseason program last year as a rookie.
yeah.
So you come in, you get to learn from him. What were the things you learned? You mentioned Pilates. What other stuff did you learn from those veterans?
Man, just honestly, just being a pro, obviously being in the situation. First off,
Oh,
I known Bond since I probably was I want to say like a junior in high school. He came to a football camp, and I was pretty much like an up and coming DB in my city. And he came to a football camp, and we spoke. And to this day, once we met again at the Bengals, I was like, yeah, bro, you probably don't even remember me, but I still got your name saved in my phone as Von Bell Saints. Like like it was, and I just changed it like this past season. So we've been knowing each other for a long time. So he for sure took me under his wing, and just took me under his wing, just showed me so many things, how he studied the games, what he looks for when he's studying tape, breaking down tape, how he prepares his body, how he trains, and just certain things that I try to add to what I'm trying to do. I mean, obviously I'm not him, he's not me, but you can always take something from in my eyes, he was an all-pro safety last year, so, and he had a hell of a year, and now he gonna do great things at the Panthers. So it's a lot of guys that I took a lot of things from: Jessie, Vonn, Mike T, Mike Hilton, Cheeto, Trey Flowers. Like the list going on. We had a real good group of dudes who they knew my situation last year was tough, but they always kept me motivated. It always felt like I wasn't too far out the loop. You know, in reality, I really was. But so I salute to those guys because they always kept me going and kept my mind sharp and just kept me on my toes.
Vonn Bell is notorious for waking up super early for workouts.
Yes.
Did you ever join him at those 5 a.m. workouts or however early it was? Because when he first got to town, that was one of the things that got a lot of our attention, was how early he was at the facility training.
No, yeah, I never went to work out with him that early because but we did.
I don't blame you.
But he introduced me to Pilates,
Yeah,
probably right around the time when I got hurt, maybe a few weeks later, maybe like week 5, week 6 of the season. And I'm waking up at the crack of dawn to go to Pilates with Vonn at like 6 a.m. And that's when I knew, I'm like, okay, this dude is like the most super morning person I ever met in my life. Because I never met nobody who the whole day. Because by the time you're waking up at 5, by the time 9 o'clock come, you've been up for a long time. And Vonn's still just wide awake, just super morning person. So that's for sure him, but I ain't never went to the weight room with him that early though. But I did do Pilates with him super early.
let's dive into last year a bit. You get drafted in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
You have a successful preseason. I mean, I remember seeing you made plays in the preseason before you got injured. You get hurt, and then that's kind of it. In the moment, did you think, because a hamstring, it's tough because they linger,
No, yeah,
and
for sure.
you never know. And it was a deep room, and so there's a lot of factors there. But did you know in the moment when you got hurt that might be your season, or did you think that you'd be able to make it back with some Pilates and some rest?
No, yeah, for sure. The host, because obviously I'm learning the business of the NFL and learning how the IR works and stuff like that. So when I first got the news that I was getting placed on IR, I'm like, okay, I'm hurt, so I know I can't play. So that's fine. I knew it was a minimum of 4 games. So back in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep training super hard and stay in shape, and you just got to stay ready for your moment because you never really know what's gonna happen for real. Injuries happen, things happen, but I just knew I always want to be ready. And that was my mindset the whole year. So once week 9 came and I was still on IR, I'm like, all right, I just got to stay ready and stay ready. Once week 12 came, you feel me? And obviously it's truly an emotional roller coaster because at the end of the day, you come from playing in college and playing all the time to not playing and feel like you're not seen. But like I said, I had that veteran presence to really help me during that time for real. So they really got me through a lot of it. And my whole mindset, honestly, the whole time was just work. That's all you really can do. And that's all I learned at Toledo. When you feel me, you're back against the wall, you really only got one way to go. And that's forward. I knew I wasn't going to duck from nothing. I knew I wasn't going to hide from nothing. And that's all I really know is to work. So the whole time, yeah, it was tough going through it mentally. It was tough. It was challenging. But all I know is to work. So I just put my head down and took it week by week and control what I can control. And that's all I did.
We talked during this time, during last season in the locker room, and I know it bothered you. It would bother anybody to not be out there.
For sure.
But it didn't feel like it. Like, it didn't look like it. It seemed like you were still, you weren't even able to practice for a significant part of the year. You just had to weight train and do stuff like that. But you kept a good spirit. Is there anything that's happened that you've experienced before last year that prepared you for that? Or was it a really learning experience, a first time thing for you?
No, I mean, my whole life, I always, like, my dad, like, he's one of the most, like, hardworking dudes I know, Dean, who's a blue-collar worker, work with his hands all the time. So when stuff didn't go right for him, when we was having trouble at home, all he did was work. All he did was leave the house and go to work. And he took me with him all the time, and I seen how hard my dad worked. And So that's kind of where I get my work ethic from, truly. So I wouldn't, and then you feel me, I messed my knee up my senior year of college at Toledo. That was a challenging thing for me, for real, being away from football, being away from my team, trying to get healthy. So I guess all those moments really shaped me to be who I am, and there's for sure more instances and things like that. But at the end of the day, my dad, one of the most hardest working dudes I know, and that's why I work so hard. And just because he always told me, you feel me, if you go show up somewhere, you go somewhere. If you ain't gonna go hard, you might as well just stay at home. And that's always something that I remember from when I was 8 years old to I'm 24 now. So that was always my mindset. Yeah, it might be challenging. Yeah, it might suck, but you got to get through it. At the end of the day, you a man. Ain't nobody can't make excuses for yourself. Can't do nothing, but you got to just show up and keep working. So that was my mindset the whole year, for real. Just I knew eventually my moment was go come. I mean, obviously, it was longer than I expected it to be. Obviously, my moment is gonna be this year, and I've been putting in the work for a long time, and gonna be reaping the benefits of that work this season.
What's your dad do? You said he works with his hands.
Yeah, he a carpenter, so he build houses,
Gotcha.
do everything. You'll find him working on cars. He think he a mechanic too. Now he fixed something on this car a few times. He watched YouTube videos on how to fix a car. So, but mainly he's a carpenter though. So he does everything: roofs, drywall, landscape. He'd do anything to put a few dollars in his pocket. That's kind of his thing.
Gotcha. Yeah, YouTube videos are clutch when you're talking about maintenance. I've
Oh yeah, he's
become sneaky handy because of YouTube. There's no doubt.
He's YouTube king when it comes to the mechanic side. He's hilarious.
Gotcha. No, that is funny. Hey, did you get that handy gene? Are you? Can you fix stuff? Did you learn from him yet, or were you just
I like the
on the football field and lifted?
I like to joke around and say I'm like Bob the Builder whenever, you feel me, I put something together, but a lot of the times he used to be on my tail a lot, going to work with him. So I'm like, you know what, Dad? I'm gonna just stay at home and hit the ladder a few more times, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and do your thing.
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think he blames you either. That's probably why he works so hard, so you could hit the ladder and be in this position. No doubt. It certainly did. And you mentioned this season. And so I know you've been asked a lot about last season. I didn't want to focus and spend too much time on that. But right now, fully healthy. I don't think I'm speaking for you. You're 100% now.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Battle's in the mix. Obviously, Dax Hill is in the mix as well. They signed Nick Scott. And so we'll see what happens. But Mike Thomas, you mentioned him. He's still there. Yeah. But it's a revamped safety room. It's a young safety room. But when I look at it, I just see athletes all over. Like Nick Scott runs a 4.4. You and Dax both run 4.3s. Jordan Battle, 4-year starter at Bama. Like, ooh, I know it's tough to lose Jessie Bates and Vonn Bell, but I just look at what you guys have in that safety room, and there's a lot of talent.
No, yeah, we for sure. Obviously, it's no replacing Jessie and Vonn. What they did for our defense, how they were just the leaders back there, the communicators, and just getting everybody lined up. So obviously, and just their play on the field, making plays all over the place. So it's for sure gonna be hard to, for me, honestly, replace them. But we know who we are. We know what we have in the room, and we got everything we need to compete in big games, to compete in the playoffs, to compete for championships. So we know that, and obviously it's gonna be a lot of hard work. And this OTA has proved that I mean, we're ready to take that next step. A lot of me or Dax really didn't play a significant amount of time at safety. So, I mean, so it's obviously the eyes are on us a lot. Nick Scott's new, Jordan's new. So a lot of the eyes are on us, but I know we put in the work. Me and Dax personally, I know, because we sit next to each other. We're real good friends. I know how hard he works and the work he puts in. So we for sure will be ready for our moment. And it's just all about making plays once we get out there.
Were you guys able to kind of bond last year coming into it? Neither of you getting the playing time that you probably had hoped, whether it was on defense or just in general. Obviously, your situation was different than Dax's, but did that help, having someone that was in your draft class to go through it with in your position room?
I wouldn't say not really, because we really our relationship kind of bigger than football. So a lot of times, for me,
Got it.
football is just a small portion of our relationship. So it never was really we bonded over not playing or nothing like that. Because obviously he was out there making a lot of big time plays, really in the playoffs on special teams. So he really played well, super well. And so yeah, it wasn't really that at all. But I met Dax for the first time at a Detroit Lions pro day, and we chopped it up there and for a lot. And then we just happened to be drafted to the same team. So once we got on the same team, it was already like, okay, I know one person, and then I already knew another guy who got picked up. So that's pretty much how our relationship kind of started at Detroit Lions local pro day.
All right, you said bigger than football, so let's switch it to basketball. One-on-one, you versus Dax. We've had this debate in the locker room. Dax has been on, and I asked him this, and so now you get the floor, Tycen, for your clap back against Dax.
I'm gonna just be honest. Okay, Dax has beaten me in Pig or a game of 50 before, but if we play 1-on-1, him versus me, he will not beat me, and I can guarantee you that I will not lose. He's not gonna beat me. He's not gonna.
I love it. I guarantee. Man, well,
that,
it's too close to camp. Otherwise, I'd say let's go to the park. You know,
way close to camp. So we'll probably have another shooting competition. He's up in the shooting right now. But 1v1 me, no, it's not happening. He's not beating me.
So you went with your athleticism, explosion.
No,
you're gonna drive and slash.
I'm gonna just get buckets. I'm gonna get to my spots, get to my midi game. If I hit a 3, it's over. Then it's gonna be over because I'm gonna still get to the basket. I'm gonna get to my left hand. I'm gonna get to the right hand. I'm gonna get to the floater. I'm gonna get to the 2 dribble pull-ups. Yeah.
All right. What would you describe your game? What pro would you say your game is like if you had?
Kawhi Leonard is prime.
Come on. Kawhi Leonard in his prime. Kawhi Leonard was giving LeBron trouble.
Ain't nobody giving LeBron trouble.
All right. We will get to that. We'll get to
don't go there with me, James.
Oh, we're going to. We'll go there in a second. I was trying to save the basketball, but you brought up Dax. and so I do want to ask, and it's early, but much like last year, the Bengals take 2 safeties. This year, it's 2 wide receivers. And the back end of that room, certainly younger. What were your first impressions? I know you may not know him really well yet, but of Andre Iosivas, the 6th rounder, and then Charlie Jones, the 4th rounder.
Oh, yeah, they're just very smooth athletes for me. Charlie, he got help out in the return game. They're just smooth, can catch, can run nice routes. Charlie got real good wiggle. He's pretty physical and stuff like that. So that's pretty much my first impression. Obviously, OTAs, you really don't get a true feel for just everybody yet just because it's not a lot of too much team stuff going on. So we go figure out a lot more about them for me once the pads come on and once we're able to press. We couldn't press the whole OTA, so a lot of people for me look good. But we go see how they get off press because a lot of times in this league it's going to be press man coverage. But first they're big, physical, quick, and got a big catch radius and able to make contested catches and things like that. So that's pretty much what I got.
Gotcha. And let's talk about some guys that you practiced against some last year.
Is it?
But they're guys that are going to make a lot of money in this league. Hopefully they let me borrow a few dollars. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins. What's it like practicing against those guys and going up against them?
No, it's pretty. I remember last year, Joe threw a pass, and I'm draped all over the receiver, and I dive out for the ball, and the ball is placed in like the best spot possible where I couldn't get to it. And that's when I was like, oh, wow, this dude is legit. I mean, one time I'm breaking out the middle of the field, and I'm watching him throw the ball, and I'm like, oh, my God, that is the most perfect release I ever see. And the ball got there so good and perfect and on time. And then you've obviously Jamar and T, they just two of the best receivers in the NFL, in my opinion. So, and they're young, they're fast, they're physical, ability to get yardage at the catch. T. Higgins' ability to stretch defenses with his speed and deep. He gets faster as he gains yardage, so it's kind of different. He's not really go real quick, but his ability to once he get 20, 30 yards down the field to hit another gear of speed is special. And then Jamar is just Jamar, and his ability to run after the catch, to break tackles, to defeat press, and it's pretty special. So it's pretty cool to watch all three of them kind of get busy, and it was fun to watch it on the sideline, up close and personal, instead of on TV how it was when I was in college. So it was pretty sweet.
Your Toledo jersey, the number 1 is behind you. When you got drafted by the Bengals, a certain number 1 had gotten drafted a year prior in Jamar. Was there that reality like, damn, I don't get to wear number 1?
Oh yeah, I've been knew that was over with. Yeah, I've been knew that was over with.
But was that the number you would have, because it was illegal to wear it. Like you wouldn't, I don't think you would have been able to wear it.
Yeah.
And now I think you can. Safeties can, I want to say. Maybe not. Maybe safeties.
I mean, honestly, I don't really know how the number system worked for real. I know they did it for the offensive receivers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it's receivers. It might not be safeties.
But I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Hey, I know 0 is an option.
Yeah,
people were talking about how they thought Jordan was going to wear 0 after he got drafted, and he didn't, of course. But
yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to the hoops. All right, Mr. Kawhi Leonard. What would you think about the Lakers? You're a big Lakers fan, big LeBron guy specifically.
Yeah.
What would you make of their offseason?
I think they did a real good job this offseason, for real. I mean, obviously LeBron aging, AD aging, the 2 of our bigger superstars, but the ability to retain Rui, D'Lo, Reeves is big for our team, and adding some key pieces, because at the end of the day, we don't really have like the Bron isn't a Bron of, you feel me, 2013. He ain't gonna be able to take over games like that no more. But he's so smart and he knows how to control the game. So if you get good pieces around him, how they building it, and they got a good shot. And feel me, the Nuggets got a little worse. They lost a role player. So that's Suns got ridiculously. They got a little better with some more scoring. So I mean, the Western Conference is going to be loaded and crazy again. It's a lot of young talent in the league, but the Lakers for sure a championship contender. And I feel me, you already know I'm a Lakers fan. I'm a LeBron fan for real. So wherever LeBron go, you feel me, I go. So I like what they did.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in Ohio are like that. So you're not alone, right? You know,
not alone. I got a lot of friends like me, so I know I'm not alone.
Same. I have a lot of friends that are the same way. That said, what do you think about the CP3 move? I liked it for the Warriors. I'm a Steph fan. You know, I'm a Steph fan, which is like LeBron's probably number 1 rival, I would probably say, looking back at his 20-year career. What do you make of that move?
I think it was a solid move. Obviously, Poole is a great player, so it's kind of, you feel me, you hate to lose a young star, but they probably pretty much in a win now type of mode with the last couple of years that they dynasty really gonna be together. So he a good piece to run the second unit. I don't know if he gonna come off the bench or they gonna move Steph to the 2 or how they gonna play it, but I'm sure Steve Kerr got a plan on what he gonna do with CP. And CP, one of the best point guards in the game, top 10 point guard for sure of all time. And he gonna be able to run that offense good and get shooters the ball where they need it to be and not turn the ball over and give them a chance to win. So they gonna be nice again.
Modern day Kawhi Leonard in his prime. I think, you know what?
I was the Draymond Green of my high school basketball team too. So I'm not Kawhi Leonard, but I was Draymond Green of my high school basketball team.
Okay, so you really can't shoot. No, I'm just
Damn.
I was going to give you John Wall. I was going to say John Wall. No. So your defense, you're bringing it defensively. Like that's
why
that's why you were confident with Dax one-on-one.
Yeah, because like he's going to have to score on me, and I don't like him to score on me. However, if we go to 7, he's not getting 7 buckets on me before I get 7. I just won't let that happen.
Won't let it happen. See, all right, we're going to have next offseason. Yes. This has to happen. He won't play?
I don't think he'll play me one-on-one.
Really?
Nah, I don't think so.
He's competitive, right? I'll play you one-on-one. I ain't afraid to play you one-on-one. So why wouldn't he?
7-0. 7-0 if you roll.
To me?
Yeah. 7-0.
Nah. Come on, Draymond. Relax. Relax. 7-0? All right.
7-0. All right, 7-1. I'll give you 1.
You won't give me any. I'll take some. I might mess around just by ones. If we're going to 7, it's just ones.
Yeah. Just
See,
one.
you should have said like 16 or something. You only played to 7? I might be able to get you 7.
7 or 11. I ain't
11.
gonna tire you out too much. It's gonna be It's gonna be some missed shots. It's gonna be a lot of stuff going on. You gonna get tired. We both gonna get tired. Though it's basketball. It's a little different conditioning.
It is different, no doubt about it. You can do all the track work and all the running and all that, and then you get on a basketball court and it's just different unless you're doing.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of.
Yeah. All right, we'll see. I'm gonna save this clip 7-0. See, because what we'll do, we'll get Dax to agree, and then we'll get some cameras there, and it'll be Tycen versus Dax 1-on-1, and I could be the warm up game.
Okay, I might need a warm up here. So,
but what happens if you lose the warm up game? That's what I want to know.
I don't lose.
Oh my god, you don't lose like you've never lost a 1-on-1 game. All right,
I lost a couple, but
I got to put my pride to the side here because I could talk trash to you now about our 1-on-1 game at any time, and for as long as possible. But he is Tycen Anderson. You're going to see plenty of him on the field this year. Number 26, not number 1, but that's all right. Man, training camp's right around the corner. Tycen, really appreciate you joining us, and I know year 2 is going to be a big one. So thanks for coming on.
No, I appreciate you, James. Appreciate having me.